It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And we've got a pair of teams who met each other in Super Bowl 25. It's the Giants and the Bills on Sunday night.
Autumn has come to upstate New York. Fall colors abound, and we welcome you inside Highmark Stadium here in Orchard Park. Tonight we've got a great Sunday night matchup on tap, as it'll be the New York Giants taking on the Buffalo Bills. Hello, everybody. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at the Bills entering play here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Giants, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes that actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And they'll be led out by a former first-rounder in his 4th year now out of Utah State, Jordan Love.
And last week's loss came despite a clean game on his end, throwing the ball with 2 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. His job this week is simple. Do it again. Continue to avoid turnovers and hope that what sunk them last week resolves itself this time around.
Ready, Smith, red.
Here's Love looking to pass on the first play. And his first pass is incomplete. He was looking for Tyreek Hill that time, but it'll be second down. You look at this Buffalo defense. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
They've established themselves pretty well throughout this season, but boy, what a competitive group of people. They do not like that ranking they have now because they think that they're better, and they're out to prove it again in this game.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Play action this time with Love. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Julian Okwara. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
All right, partner, I'm going to be Captain Obvious right here. Not the start you're looking for offensively, right? Incomplete pass, followed by a sack.
And when he went down, it looked like that right ankle got turned, but thankfully he popped up okay, and they breathed a sigh of relief on that sideline. I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Love looking to throw it. Forced out to his left. Only 2 yards, and it'll be a punt on their opening possession.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
Here's Tommy Townsend on to punt. Deep to return, River Craycraft. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. That's pulled in at the 32. Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. Bringing them out is a guy who has spent a decade as a starter in this league, the 2019 Comeback Player of the Year, Ryan Tannehill.
And I thought in last week's game, he found a way to win like a good pitcher without his best stuff. I mean, he did throw 2 interceptions, offset by 1 touchdown pass. Not the ratio, not the numbers you're really looking for as a QB. But finding a way to win, that's all that really matters.
And right away, he lost the football. And one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
Wow, that ball was not free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And Tannehill changing the look. Here we go on 2nd and 12. And his throw is incomplete.
Intended for Cedric Tillman. Incomplete. He was covered by Denzel Ward.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Tannehill. Flushed out right. Oh, poor decision there, and it's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward, and the return stops at the 39-yard line.
He exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision could get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the ball. And that one was picked off.
Kamara with a first down run, but he's unable to get back to the line of scrimmage as the push upfield was strong defensively.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on first and second down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. To pass, here's Jordan Love. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
Kadarius Toney is intended target, and it's third down. Look at this Buffalo defense.
They were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
And while you can't actually see confidence rising in a unit, you can tell by this team, all right? Anytime you can tell your offense, hey, just get us a couple touchdowns. We got this thing locked down. That's when you know you're playing well and you're carrying your team along.
That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This from 54 yards away. And this one is no good. He missed it, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
So here come the Bills out for their second drive. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves, maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 13 carries, 62 yards.
It's a pretty mediocre week for him on the ground. Certainly a boon to his offense if he can get a little more output on his touches this week. He should get some more early carries as his team tries to get him into a rhythm.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Not liking the look. They'll change the play.
Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. A bullet throw, but incomplete. Rocky start throwing the football. He's missed now on his first 4 attempts.
Eager to see what his demeanor is going to be from this point forward, because the best ones, they missed the first 15 attempts, and they think they're going to hit the next 15. Let's see if he has that type of an attitude.
Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. And now the Bills are going to stop it as they call the timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Love now to pass on first down. Throw left side complete. That's Hill. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Defensively going forward, they're going to have to watch out for him on plays just like that. It's a drag route across the field, and they're trying to free him up and let him run after the catch. That won't be the last time we see that play, and it works there to pick up a first down.
Play fake. Here's Love. That'll be caught. It's Tony. And he'll be taken down right away up near midfield at the 47. It's a giant first down on a gain of 16.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Love's throw into the hands of Pitts here. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Well, so far, little to no resistance by the defense on this drive alone. 3 passes, 3 completions, 3 first downs. They're taking it to him, and it's paying off.
And they run the option here on 1st and 10. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
Love. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Barr. And the Bills are going to take over at their own 30-yard line.
I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And, partner, I know so far, we're still in the first half, but you love this game as a defensive guy. 0-0. We'll see if the offense can get going on this drive.
Well, you know how they talk about music to your ears? How about what it does for your eyes when you watch something like this, right, where these teams are locked in and going at it, no points going up on the scoreboard? I'm loving it. You're exactly right.
Well, switch over, though, to an offensive mindset for a moment. What do they need to do here to get on track and get some points?
I think a couple of ways. Number one, you pull out something maybe they haven't seen before. Coaches always talk about unscouted looks. Maybe you give them something that they haven't seen on tape, and now you shot from that play. The second, run your basic playbook, but run it so well that you give your skill position guys a chance to make big plays individually.
We're scoreless after 1. Second quarter now in Buffalo. It's the Bills in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now Tannehill looks to change things up. They'll run again with Mason. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. The Bills at 2-3 here to begin the new season. They were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
Tannehill. And that nearly intercepted. It's incomplete. Now remember, he had a pick earlier, but couldn't reel that one in.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Let's go.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Off play action, Tannehill steps away. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Baron Browning drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long. The Bills send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the second time. Now Hill to return it. 35 yards that time on the punt, and it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. New York set to take the field.
And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive, in particular if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know, they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to want to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
So the incomplete pass there, but the roughing the passer call bails them out.
Which means you have to stay on the field on defense longer because you've given the offense free snaps, not to mention the free yardage after that mistake.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer.
Yellow, opposite, green, black, block.
They'll pound it up the middle with Camaro.
He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4, 2nd down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Kamara gets it again on 2nd down.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
And that's a nice pickup of a 1st down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Here we go.
So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. To throw now. Here's Love. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. He'll get this to the 40. Sweet little juke in there. Got him some extra yardage. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it's 2nd down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
On 3rd down, Love. Dancing to his left. And he's stopped up short of the 1st as they tackle him down at about the 36. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
That looked great when he first took off because in my mind, there was room to run and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with his 4th down call.
So the kick from here on a field goal would have been right at 53 yards, but instead, offense out there. They're going for it. And boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. Alvin Kamara unable to push past that yellow line, and the Bills are going to get the football back.
Partner, when you see a running play stop short like that, you just know that the defensive front, they won the battle of leverage and created the push back into the opposing backfield.
And for the offensive coordinator, whether you had 1 yard to go or 20 yards to go on 4th down, now you're probably saying, oh, maybe I should have passed it, right?
Yeah, hindsight is always 20/20.
The drive begins with Mason. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
On the ground again, it's Mason. And a decent gain there as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half.
Here's 3rd and a few inches.
They'll run here with Mason. Trying to barrel up in there, but I don't think he got it. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
And in their own territory, needing only a few inches, they're going to line up to go for this thing on 4th down. They'll run for it with Mason. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. One crisis averted, but they still need to move hastily. They'll try the air now with Tannehill. He'll buy some time right. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
That's now 6 dropbacks, 6 incompletions. Yeah, the defense been pretty good early, but he's got to start hitting some of those throws. He's making them better than what they actually are.
Now Tannehill going to move him around.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And that'll be incomplete.
Well, congratulations to them. They come through defensively with another stop. And let's face it, this secondary, they've gone unchallenged so far in the first half.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Tannehill.
Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 31-yard line. Now they run. It's Mason.
Jalen Watson dropped him defensively.
Now the Bills will hustle to the line.
Watson on the tackle. 1-yard gain. Brings up 2nd and 9.
Now they'll audible to something else.
Now it's Tannehill off the bootleg, sliding out of the pocket. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
Martin, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
They got to get it to the 21 here on 3rd down. Now it's Tannehill. That is caught. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half.
So 1st and goal now from the 7-yard line.
Here's Tannehill. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Oh, they were so close. That close to their first points of the game. Just needed to hang on just a second longer. But he couldn't complete the process of the catch through the jostling from the defender.
Now a play fake, and it's Tannehill on the move to his left. And he just chopped that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
But there's an incompletion, partner, and the struggles through the air continue because so far their lack of passing production has led to a lack of points.
From the 7 now, it's 3rd and goal.
And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's about a 3-yard pickup there, but more importantly, they're still a few yards away here. It's now 4th down and goal. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter.
What's the deal, y'all?
So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Rosa's kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here in Orchard Park, where the Bills taking the lead into the break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you.
Message received here. No need to wait. We're going to skip halftime and get right back to the action. Here comes the third quarter.
And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. These offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the second half gets underway.
No run back here to begin the half, and we will start at the 25-yard line.
So here are the Bills to take over. They got the victory last week. That was against Jacksonville, and they lead this one as well right now out in front here. They've got it 1st and 10. Starting the drive with Mason on the ground. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
And Tannehill changing the look.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Being chased out left. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 11 yards and a Buffalo 1st down.
Good job there of getting his tight end involved because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted
Brian Dable reaching for that challenge flag, and he's going to have the officials review this call. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass.
Now Mason.
And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37. Well, now after all of this, hang on here because he appears to be shaken up.
We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park.
Here we go.
So from the 37, here's a 2nd down and 9.
Play action. It's Tannehill. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park.
Here is 3rd and quite a ways. And now an audible here into something else.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the 3rd downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the 3rd quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
Mason. Denzel Ward, the number 4 pick in the 2018 draft, making the tackle from his corner spot.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
So from just across the midfield stripe, here's 2nd and 9.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Mason. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. Now Tannehill. Flush to his right. And a throw there going to be incomplete. So 2 third down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a third, and now they deal with 4th down. The Bills send the punter out as he's on here to punt it away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
And they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the 3rd quarter. All they have so far in the field goal. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
I have to think a major focus at a halftime means had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double team.
The throw for Tony is intercepted.
And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
A few things better than a big man interception. You can always tell right when they get the football, there's that level of excitement and nervousness, and also like, what the heck do I do with this thing?
And you say, no better sight? Well, not for the quarterback who just threw it. It's bad enough to throw a pick, but throw one to the big guy? But you're right about that. Now what do I do with it? But what's fun about it is you know they're going to be in the film room after this ball game telling all their teammates, maybe I should shift over to offense. I've got skills. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. I always find myself cheering for them after they intercept it. Unfortunately here, he couldn't make it into the end zone.
On 1st down, Mason. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It was Danielle Hunter to make the play in the backfield.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Tannehill eluding the pressure right. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A nice job of eluding the pressure there, scrambling for 11.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on 2nd down.
Escaping the pressure right. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
So now then, the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
He's got exactly what you're looking for, the ability to not just diagnose a play and quickly, but to make a play as well. Nice job there tackling him for a loss.
On 2nd and goal, they'll give it to him again. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal.
Tight right.
They'll fake it. Now Tannehill out to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Baron Browning able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Buffalo. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these 2 teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Rosa's kick is good, and that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well, and kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25.
New York's offense back out there and set to go.
I tell you what, it's kind of hard to imagine. They have not scored a single point, and yet they're in this position. A touchdown drive here, and they're in the lead.
Normally, when you have 0 on your side of the ledger on the scoreboard, you're a little bit discouraged. But when they look over and see their opponents, they don't see a number that's way out there. They don't see a number they can't attain. In fact, they can get it right here on this drive and potentially take the lead.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
They'll probably spend a little extra time dissecting the game film after this one. I think the part of their plan was to hit them over the top with the deep ball. They've been unsuccessful all night.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line.
Ready?
Here's Kamara out of the pistol. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The Giants on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Love now. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Giants 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
1st down, going to the air with Love. Right back to Pitts again. So the completion good for 7 there. And it'll be 2nd down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target.
From the 43, it's 2nd and 3.
Ready?
On the option, Weber hang on to it.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
So he is able to turn that into positive yardage, but I think it's fair to say that those are not the shots you're wanting your quarterback to have to absorb.
And he has to know sometimes when to say wait. You have to know when to give yourself up, and let's face it, not easy for these guys to do because they're competitors as well. But sometimes you do learn your lesson the hard way, as he did there.
Now we've got a Giant player here slow to get up after that last play. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park.
Ready?
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Giants go on 4th, but come up empty. And the Bills are going to take over in excellent field position. Being just short of midfield, they decide to take a crack at it on 4th down. They don't come through.
Sometimes it's just showing confidence in your defense. You know that they're good, and they'll take care of you. A lot of coaches during the week will announce to their team, we're going to be aggressive, guys. We're going to go for it. Hey, defense, you got me? A little bit of a challenge to them to see if they'll pick up the rest of the team.
See how they respond now. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. On 2nd down, it's Mason. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. Flushed out right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The corner blitz pays off there as they sack him for a loss of 5.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. The Giants now down 6-0, 2:16 to play. They'll have 2 timeouts and, of course, also the 2-minute warning as they go to work on 1st down. First down, Love to pass. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
A gain of 34 yards. First down, Giants.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive.
Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. 1st and 10 here.
Love looking to throw it.
Open man right side is Tony.
That completion helps out in a nice way. Now they can take a little bit more time, but guess what? They got to make sure on their throws that they see it open, not just anticipate it.
Love looking to throw it. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down. There have been quite a few plays they might look back on and say, we really have hurt ourselves, and that was another example.
And this is late game execution. Everything on the line, so it all has to come together properly. The throw's made. Where's the catch? You got to catch in that spot.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
But hard to catch your breath. Another big play looming, 4th and 3. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he's going to get out of bounds with the first down. So that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the first and save a timeout. Love. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Now Love. Targeting Pitts on the out route, and he's got it complete. This Buffalo crowd letting him have it. Third down now. Here's Love. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
But that incompletion reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the next snap.
No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now.
Here we go. Set.
Now Love. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go through with such little time remaining, and the Bills are going to get the football back. So now let's reset here, Charles. They do have 2 timeouts left, so they can stop the clock twice. This one's not quite over yet.
No, and what you're doing on defense, you're going to use both timeouts, obviously. But you've got to call defenses are going to force the issue early, meaning you want that play over fast. You don't want to give them time to dance around in the backfield or run a wide sweep that'll take off time. Blitz them, put pressure on them, make sure that play ends quickly so that you can go ahead and keep moving.
So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Now hang on a second here, because on that last play, it appears one of the Giants shaken up. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, Mason. And he's brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4.
But forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front. And a lot of times that is one-on-one. And if you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field. The Bills send the punter out as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. Well, not good at all. Punt of just 24 yards there. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros. One last shot now for Love. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. So it's a victory here for the Buffalo Bills. And not all W's are created equal, CD. And this one came in shutout fashion.
Well, their offense certainly didn't need to do anything, right? They could take the day off, and they did. But the defense, they carried them in a big way.
Yeah, look, the offense obviously stuff to work on, but they did enough, and the defense carried the load.
But you know what they say, it's always fun to work on things. If it didn't go well in your game, with a victory in your pocket. And that's what they've got going forward.
So for Buffalo, they climb back to 500 now at 3 up and 3 down. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, for the Jets, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.